Welcome back to What's on Yours, a weekly chat about books, music, movies, and TV. I'm Michael Hennessy.
And I'm Cindy Smith.
And how was your week?
It was good. It was nice and relaxing. It was only 3 days. What
Okay.
can you ask for?
After a 5-day weekend you had last week, you were so spoiled.
Yes, now it was like a full week, and it feels like it's never going to end this week. And it's
But
only
I
Monday.
guess the big thing I want to know, you had some time to dig into your book you had. Girl on the Train. And what's
Girl
the
on
verdict?
the train. And it's going to end today
Oh,
because I finished it this weekend.
excellent.
My review is scheduled for the end of May, and I'm going to say it starts off slow,
Hmm.
but once you get almost to the halfway point, it picks up and it's just, you can't put the book down.
Okay. And that seemed to be very similar to what you said about Gone Girl as well.
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, there's a little bit of history and a little bit, telling from both characters, and then it all comes together and it'll leave you hanging with your mouth open,
Neat, okay.
like I was.
So there's a few little nuggets along the way to keep your interest from flagging too much. Is that how it is?
Well, I guess. I
Yeah.
mean, there was a point where I'm like, okay, really, it's not going anywhere.
Right.
But then I'm like, I had already invested in my 50-page rule.
Okay.
So I stuck with it. It was slow, but I'm glad I read it.
Interesting. I think a lot more people are much more willing to forgive a book that starts slow that finishes with a bang than the opposite.
It ended in a bang.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting. I guess the same sort of thing with movies too.
that's
You
it.
know, when people leave a theater, if the movie ends on a strong note, they're much more willing to forgive it than if they walk out kind of disappointed at the end.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you check that out, and you still think it's gonna be made into a movie?
Uh, I I would go see it if it was a movie.
Okay,
I
cool.
think it's got potential to be a movie.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, it would work. The premise of it would work.
Uh,
Yeah.
Is this the first book from this author?
It's her debut book,
Well, okay.
and it's set in London, so another, that would still work with the storyline.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, my book is a nonfiction book, The Gift of Fear by Gavin DeBecker. He's kind of basically a kind of a consultant, all about how to protect yourself from uh, people who, like for celebrities, people who would be stalkers, how to deal with people like overzealous fans and that, and because it's about the psychology of what the people, what the fans are looking for, but he also delves deeper into like ordinary situations. Uh, Basically, what he tells you is trust your instinct.
Okay.
If you're there, if you're in a situation and you're not, and you feel something, your intuition tells you, this is not safe or there's something dangerous here. Even if you can't put your finger on it, trust that. Get out of the situation if you can, for sure. Um, he's it's very interesting. I'm reading through that again. I've read it a couple times, but it's a very interesting book to know about the psychology of what happens to people who become victims versus people who manage to escape assaults or attempted murders and that sort of thing. It's pretty interesting. When he talks with people, he says, um, "Tell me who do you think could have done something? Who do you think could be behind it?" And they're like, "Oh, blah 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 blah," and and sometimes they'll say, "Oh, but this guy, but he couldn't have done it because blah blah blah." And when they dig deeper,
Hmm.
it's sometimes that's an offhand comment. When they look deeper into it, there was no real reason for them to mention whoever that person was, but there's something to it, and they dig deeper, and that person can be connected to whatever the crime was.
Well, that's it.
It's kind of interesting. Just basically trust your instinct.
That's it. I'm a big believer on that.
Yeah.
Like if my signals are telling me that it's not right,
Right.
something's not. I listen. I never used to listen to my gut instinct,
Yeah.
and something would happen. Now I've listened, and yeah.
So very, very interesting, especially for in coordination with like women's self defense.
Yeah.
It is a book that's recommended for girls and for women about basically trusting your intuition in these situations, because if possible, you just want to completely avoid any situation where you have to do self defense. You want to completely not be put in that situation if at all possible. And one of the ways to do that is to trust your intuition and to avoid it. You know, it's a terrible thing to say that, you know, you have to try and avoid these situations because there's a lot of people out there that would wish women harm, but that is the situation.
That is, yeah.
So, not a very uplifting read, but it's in the way that he says, trust your instinct. Here are some tools for you to allow yourself the capacity to really trust your intuition. That was a useful thing, you know. It's good. So I think a lot more people should read that book. The Gift of Fear, Gavin de Becker, definitely a good one. Yep.
I have to check it out.
Yep. Tying into this whole kind of thing, one of my TV shows this week, True Detective. I've watched it several times. The first season, excellent show. I usually generally watch it late at night because it gives me particularly vivid and unusual dreams. Great Matthew McConaughey, Woody Harrelson, great pairing. Fantastic. They won some Writers Guild awards. Just quality show. 10 episodes, fantastic. It's an anthology show. Second season of it comes back in June on HBO. But as an anthology, it's a completely different setting, completely different characters, completely different actors. Vince Vaughn, Taylor Kitsch, Rachel McAdams, and who else? There's somebody else in this season of it. Yeah. Oh, Colin Farrell. It's supposed to be a really good show. And we just refinished watching the last episode of Sopranos last night. We did a double episode. Just a reminder of how people were kind of hung up on the ending of Sopranos. It was a good reminder. We watched all six seasons of it, starting a month and a half ago or so, and watched them all. And the tension leading into the last episode, I can see why people are kind of hung up on it. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Never seen it.
No, it's a really good show. It's a really good show, but I can see why a lot of people were put off by the ending. Very, very kind of ambiguous to the ending, which I think was a good choice. What about you? You've got your PVR. Have you made the most of it?
I'm making the most of it. It's amazing how many shows I have scheduled to record on like a daily basis.
Like, what's the sample rundown?
It's so much to watch, not enough time to watch it. Yeah. But I'm catching up on The Amazing Race, and my truck stop loves are still in it.
Good.
They're there, and I caught a new show on MTV. It's called Younger.
Oh, okay.
It's with Hilary Duff, and it used to be on TV Land, and now it's made its switch to MTV. And it's about a woman in her 40s who is getting back into the publishing world, but everybody tells her she's kind of too old, that she's over the hill, forget about it, you know. And then she goes to the bar with her best friend, and she gets hit on by a younger guy. So then she gets the idea to pretend she's younger. She gets into a publishing house, and it's actually a book.
The series is based off of a book?
It's based off a book, because I'm like, this has got to be a book.
Okay.
And I Googled it, and it definitely is a book.
So, is that a book that you're going to be reading and reviewing?
I'm this close to buying the ebook.
Okay.
Like, very close. I yeah.
So, was it just a one-off show, or is it a TV series?
No, it's a series now.
Okay.
I've watched the first 2 episodes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's called Younger on MTV.
Younger on MTV.
Okay.
I normally don't watch MTV, but lately I've Catfish. I've been into Catfish.
So how did you come across it? Were you just going through the schedule and you saw, oh, that looks interesting, or?
It must have been that I was flipping just at the right time when they had like a little, introduction to it, like I guess a trailer.
Okay.
And then I was like, oh, that looks good. So I'm like, oh, let me record it. And then as I'm watching the first episode, I'm like, hey, this has got to be a book. There's got to be a book behind this. And yeah.
Oh, that's neat. That's neat. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the Postman from Survivor? Have you caught up?
He's still there.
Good. Your second picks are good.
Yeah. I mean, now the tribes have merged, but you still see like, oh, the blue collars are working together. But I think days are limited for these survivors. Days are limited.
I see.
Because they're playing a whole different game than they have in the past.
So is it wrap up in May?
I think so, because I think now that usually it gets down to 12 when the two tribes merge.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Neat.
So I probably sometime in May.
Now, have you taped any movies? Have you seen any movies recently? Aside from The Wizard of Oz.
I'm sorry. I told you we can still watch it.
I know. Excuse me.
If There Be Thorns by V.C. Andrews.
Okay.
They've, Lifetime Canada, well, I guess it's Lifetime, has made a movie of her first 4 books.
Oh, right, okay.
So, last night they had the 4th movie. The week before that was the 3rd, so they had like this marathon.
Oh, I see.
Of the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And last night was the 4th, so.
Okay, I think my wife watched the Flowers in the Attic, the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm rewatching the first couple before I watch the last one.
Oh, okay. It's all on your PVR, your handy dandy PVR.
PVR.
How did you live before that? I don't know.
I don't know. And it's nice because they also had The Night at the Museum.
Oh, okay.
So.
Ben Stiller's movie?
Ben Stiller's movie. Michael wanted to see that, so it was on, so we PVR'd that. And
With the original or one of the...
the original, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, Ben Stiller's movie. Number 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, we'll watch that sometime.
Interesting. It's nice that you have the space to save it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, what about on the music front? Have you been singling out any particular music?
Just Spotify. Still listening to that.
Okay.
Yeah. I gotta branch away from like the pop and like go into some more of the other stuff.
On Spotify, can you like pick a song or a particular artist and type it in and then get, oh, if you like this, you might like this? Generate playlists? Or I don't really use Spotify.
I've never tried it.
Yeah, okay.
Normally I just go into like what they have bunched together and I'll just click on that and...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, for me, movie-wise, it was a lot of John Carpenter. Definitely, I'm writing a series of horror scripts and rewriting, and John Carpenter's, the way he does his stories, a big influence. I went back and I rewatched The Thing, Halloween, Prince of Darkness, and although not technically a horror, Escape from New York, they're all good, solid movies. He's very economical with his stories. He does pack a lot in. I really enjoy his movies, and to go along with that, I had recently purchased his album Lost Themes, which is good, and I've been listening to that in rotation. But over the past week, somebody announced on Twitter that you could get a copy of a lot of these electronica musicians basically did tributes to John Carpenter's tracks from different movies, and the album is basically just called Carpenter. And it was available for free or for any kind of donation you wanted to give. So I went ahead, got it, and great. Nice. Excellent. Slightly different takes on his songs, but I mean, as soon as you start listening to it, you understand what song from what movie it is, and really enjoyable.
Very
A
nice.
nice little take on it. So I've been listening to that as well. But when it's time for writing, I go back to the John Carpenter and the other ones. But yeah, so that's my music and my movies are intertwined. It's a John Carpenter type of week for me.
As always.
Yep. So Escape from New York. You'll be going to New York.
I'll be going to New York in like a month and something.
Nice.
Yep.
BEA.
BEA. I'm getting excited.
Well, you should. You should.
Things
Is there a countdown clock on Cindy's Love of Books up on the somewhere?
No, there's not, but there is one on my phone.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
You must be getting really excited about that.
I'm getting really excited.
Any kind of itinerary planning going on?
So far, I've only got one blogger author meetup planned for the Thursday, and hopefully now like that it's like a month and something left that things will start coming in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you know who you're going to be meeting there in terms of your blogger, your colleague bloggers? Yep.
I'll see a bunch of people that I know.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And so you're there for quite a few days.
5 days?
Nice.
4 days? 4 days, I think.
4 nights. 5 days probably, right?
No, 5 nights, 4 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I get in Tuesday nights,
Right.
and I leave early Sunday morning.
Okay.
So,
Right,
yeah.
right. Well, this should be good. Will there be some things showing up on your blog as you get closer?
I'm hoping that they're going to start releasing like books that might be available.
Okay.
So I plan on doing like a lot of like waiting on Wednesdays, like wish list kind of things.
Right.
I'm going to have like a whole bunch of convention tips.
Excellent.
Yeah.
To help those people who aren't going to be able to get to the BEA, they can
That's
live
it.
vicariously through you.
Seriously. But there is an online BEA. It's called Armchair BEA,
Okay.
where you can take part at home.
Oh, okay. Neat.
Chance to win books and stuff. So
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, you'll be taking some selfies while you're there, right?
I always take pictures.
Okay.
I can easily take 2,000 pictures in a course of like days.
Do you have a selfie stick?
Stick. That has got to be the most annoying thing I've seen. Like people walking around. I'm sorry. It's just no.
No. Okay.
Selfie sticks are not me. Just another thing you have to carry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
You can
Not
do
just the
those.
people who like their selfie stick, but the selfie stick is not for me.
No. Okay, it's not for everyone.
No.
Some
No.
places are banning them, so that's a probably good thing too.
Exactly.
Excellent.
And there's always somebody around you can ask to take a picture. Hey, can you take my picture with
Right.
so and so?
You meet somebody new.
That's it. I mean, I wouldn't do that on the streets of New York, hand my camera over to somebody. But in a convention setting, there's always somebody who's standing in line behind you.
Right.
And you reciprocate the favor, and yeah.
So, to get to the end, what is your pick of the week?
Girl on the Train.
Girl on the Train, huh?
Yeah.
Excellent.
And this will be the last week I talk about the Girl on the Train.
And how it somewhat relates to Gone Girl, just because we have to throw that in there.
That's it. It does relate to Gone Girl. It's got that same kind of premise, so.
Okay. I'll do a double pick. I'll say The Gift of Fear by Gavin DeBecker. Useful reading for anybody. And I will also mention True Detective Season 1 on HBO. I bought that series, downloaded it on my iPad. It's excellent writing, excellent performances. Yeah, it's definitely my pick of the week for TV. Cool. Well, this is good. I hope you have a nice, sunny, warm week in Montreal.
We're in double digits.
Double digits. We are supposed to be in double digits as well, and allergies are starting to.
That's it.
kick in.
Double digits above zero. Not double.
Yes.
Oh.
Thank you for
We're
pointing
above
that
zero.
out. Yes.
Finally,
Yes.
as you can see, the sun shining outside. We're there.
Excellent.
That's it.
Perfect. Well, I hope you have a great week. And,
You too.
And we'll talk to you again next Monday.
Monday it is.
All right. Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Have a good week.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.